everybody. Welcome, freedom fighters, to another episode on a Thursday night with us at Positive Property. If you can hear us, just please type in the chat, G to G, good to go. If you are watching this live tonight, please type in the chat, hashtag live. And if you are watching the replay, please type in the chat, hashtag replay. So I'm just waiting for some G to Gs, good to go, that you can hear us loud and clear. We have Stacey here today with us. Stacey is one of our property strategists at Positive Property. And it's really great to have you here, Stacey. So, Stacey, do you want to introduce yourself and share a little bit about you and how you got started here at Positive Property?
Yeah, thank you very much, Charmaine. So, yeah, I have been working for George for a little while now. I was originally first a member, still a member. So I started over a year ago now, got a few properties behind us. So we're pretty happy and
pretty grateful, I bet.
pretty grateful. Yeah, exactly. So no, very happy with the direction we're going in and very grateful to be part of the team now. So here at Positive Property.
Thank you, Stacey. So we've got a few hashtag lives. So remember, if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. So our topic for tonight is thankful and grateful and the law of attraction. I've got to say, this is one of my favorites. I do practice a lot of gratitude in my day-to-day living, and I'll share a bit more of my stories later. But when we're talking law of attraction, what we're actually saying is that what you put out into the world is what you're going to get out of it ultimately. And to simply put it, I mean, the more what you think is what you create. And it's sometimes not an easy to practice this in everyday life, but there is a lot of science now that is backing that the more you think positively, the more you're going to create positive experiences in your life. And when it comes to a mindset of being thankful and grateful, it's also going to bring you more experiences into your life that are going to be more harmonious, bringing you more happiness and overall well-being. And that's what gratitude can really bring into our life is more balance, harmony, and well-being. So, look, I want to hear in the comments, does anyone here want to share what gratitude means to them or how gratitude or practicing gratitude has actually benefited you in any way? And while we're waiting for those comments to come through, I just want to share just a little bit about some amazing scientifically proven benefits of actually practicing gratitude and practicing thankfulness. So, when you step into a mindset of gratefulness and thankfulness, it can actually benefit you in many ways. Like, it actually builds better relationships. And what I mean by building better relationships is that you have better relationships with your family, your friends, your colleagues. It actually promotes longer lasting relationships as well by being, obviously grateful for yourself first and foremost, but being grateful to the relationships that you have around you. It also really improves your physical health. Believe it or not, that if you actually practice gratitude, it actually helps to reduce your stress levels, so reducing cortisol in the body, promoting those really good, happy, feel-good hormones like oxytocin and dopamine and prolactin, which all promotes, well-being and feeling good. It also improves your psychological health, and what I mean by that is it promotes having really good emotions and good moods. So you've got more positive emotions that you're experiencing in your day-to-day living. It enhances your empathy, so your ability to relate to others, whilst, reducing, anger or frustration. If any of you out there are experiencing that, I highly recommend practicing some gratitude in your life. It improves sleep. So it's been, there's a study that those that practice gratitude for 5 minutes before bed every night actually had better sleep patterns and less restless sleep. It improves self-esteem. So overall, you're just feeling good about yourself and feeling good about life. And one thing I know, and I'm sure Stacey, you can kind of comment on this as well, it actually promotes mental strength. And what I mean by mental strength is you having a resilience in your mental state when it comes to challenges that may arise, because when you are feeling grateful, when challenges do arise, you seem to have this resilience and always looking for the solution, the resolution, instead of kind of pondering on the
negatives.
issues at hand. Yeah. Anything you want to add to that, Stacey?
Yeah, so look, basically, I don't know if you've ever read the book Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, but he talks a lot about callousing your mind and toughening up your mind. So the things you think about the most is basically what you will attract. If you think about debt the most, you're most likely to attract debt. If you think about financially worrying about money all the time, you're going to attract debts, and you're going to find it really hard later in life. But if you start to think about the things that you really want and have gratitude towards that, then you'll find you'll start to attract that. And that's physical as well. The more, if you physically make yourself get out of bed and practice that daily to reward your body, then you're going to reap the benefits from it. Same as investing in property. It's the same thing. I found, like, on a personal level, exactly. So we're vibrating on a higher level now. As soon as you start to think about these things, I'm vibrating on such a high level at the moment. I feel amazing. I feel like I've won the lotto. Since joining this company, it's not just about property anymore. It's really about having that focus in your life going forward, and having that focus on property means that for me, looking forward, I've got financial freedom in my future. I've got a focus. I've got a direction now. It makes you feel amazing just to have that in your mind.
Yeah, we've got some comments here. We've got one of our Facebook users have said that having an attitude of gratitude helps you become more successful. Yes, it actually does, and I'm going to touch upon that a little bit later. We have another comment here. Oh, thankful and grateful to George. He was so accommodative to let me work the afternoon and take the morning off, having a newborn and them easy. Oh, thank you so much. I believe that is from Alicia. We have another little comment here as well. We've got what's your top tip for focusing on a positive attitude? Great question, and I'm going to answer that a little bit later on in our live tonight. But I guess what I want to talk about is how does this tie into property investing? Like, how does having gratitude and thankfulness in our life, tie into those that are wanting to invest in property? And George talks about this a lot, and if you've watched a lot of George's videos, he does talk actively about practicing thankfulness and gratitude in his personal life, professional life, as well as an investor. And George, as we know, is quite successful in property investing, amongst other things. And George has had so much benefit from practicing thankfulness and gratefulness that he's actually brought it into our company as a company value. So for those that don't know our company values here at Positive Property, they are based on the Heart Acronym. So Stacey, do you want to share our company values with everybody?
Yeah, sure. So we've got have fun, that's our H. We've got E, we've got everybody wins. A is for authentic, R is for radical responsibility, and T is for thankful and grateful. Of course, that is in our acronyms. That's what we're talking about tonight.
That's right. And look, here at Positive Property, we do practice these values, and these values as a company really assist us in making those really important decisions. And at Positive Property, we do practice being grateful and thankful, and we take the time to be grateful for each other as colleagues, as a team, working together. And obviously by having that gratefulness and thankfulness to each other as a team, it actually helps us to build better working relationships. We're also really super grateful to the lessons and the growth, because all of us here at Positive Property, we're growing not only within the company, but we're also growing as individual investors as well. So we really do take the time to really be grateful and thankful to the experiences that we're having that really support our growth.
And really giving someone that going forward, just really saying to each other, giving a compliment where a compliment is due. It will
Yeah.
make someone's day.
It certainly does. And, also being thankful and grateful helps us as a team to reduce our stress levels as well, because the more we step into that thankfulness and gratefulness, it helps us to overcome, any kind of stress or any kind of pressure that we might be feeling, because we're in a different mindset. And, and that is always looking at solution and resolution and continually to move forward. And, obviously we also have, we're super grateful as well to our members. We're so grateful that they have given us their trust and to be a part of their journey, to witness their success, and to really, I guess, it is like witnessing their transformation, going from, A, to Z, and, us supporting them with filling in the strategy, all the steps to support them and move them forward. It is such a beautiful place to be, as a property coach myself here at Positive Property, and to witness that, and and also to our community here as well, like the gratitude that we have for each and every one of you showing up every Thursday night, coming along, learning about property investing, asking your questions. And this obviously ties into George's bigger picture, which is, and I'm sure you've heard it all before, but I'm going to share it one more time. And George's vision here at Positive Property is really about empowering 10,000 Australians to achieve financial freedom using the Markoski method, successfully investing in property. So, this
when
is...
you get that first phone call. When you get that first phone call, we've got a property for you. It's really exciting. It does. It just changes your mind. It blows your mind. Just like, for us, we've got a property.
Oh, that's fantastic. And we've got a few more comments here. So I'm going to share some of these comments now. Creating abundance and having an abundance mindset, so important, because it has, having abundance and having an abundance mindset actually does tie into gratitude. A lot of people that practice gratitude actually have a lot of abundance. We've got another comment here, which is thankful and grateful to live in Australia and have the opportunities to create wealth through property. I love that. It's so important to be grateful to what the resources that we do have around us. And sometimes we do need to have a little reality check, because if we look around other countries around the world, they don't always have the same opportunities and resources that we have here. Oh, I've got to show this one. Charmaine, you are a legend. Thank you. Practicing to be thankful to that beautiful person that has shared that you're a legend. I'm sorry if I'm not saying your names. It's just coming up as Facebook user, but if your name was there, I would obviously love to acknowledge you. We've got another comment here. Having such lovely people to work with makes me work better. It makes me want to give my best to my clients. I love that. Thank you so much. Here we go. One for Stacey. Love the part about compliment, where compliment is due. So Stacey, do you want to share is there any more stories you want to share about, how gratitude has impacted your life, personally or professionally?
Yeah. So basically, physically every day I get up really early and I do my exercise. This is just part of me thanking my body, and my body thanks me for it. That's part of the way I give to myself. Emotionally, I reflect on good things. A lot of people do that around their kitchen table, around at nighttime, around their dinner table. What are the good things that happened today? That's with your kids as well. Mentally, read something inspiring. I can't say I read a lot. I probably should. I listen to books when I'm out physically walking. So I might go for a walk for an hour and I'll listen to books, like David Goggins, like Rich Dad Poor Dad. There's so many of them. And socially, getting into a group of like-minded people, you'll find that. Like another example might be that you'll get a lot of naysayers. You'll get a lot of people trying to stop you property investing. You shouldn't be doing that right now. What about COVID? That's going to affect the property market. You shouldn't be investing right now, and you should get your own property first. why should you get your own property first? Why? That you want someone else to pay for your properties, in my opinion. So why not buy your property later when you've actually got a lot more money behind you and you're not spending 30 years paying off a loan? So there is an opposite way of thinking now, and you'll get a lot of the older generation that think the opposite way. Buy your own home, pay it off for the next 30 years, put a lot of money into your superannuation, then retire. There is that old-fashioned way of thinking. Times have changed.
Certainly has.
Start thinking outside the box.
And I guess that's why, being thankful and grateful, and bringing that into your property investing also has a lot of benefits as well. Because, look, let's face it, the journey into property investing isn't always an easy path. And for many people just starting out in property investing, it can feel overwhelming at times. It can feel stressful. It could be too hard. It can bring up a lot of fear. Then there's so much information out there, so many different strategies. Which one is the right one for me? And I mean,
sometimes one bad thought creeping in can change your whole mind.
That's right.
If you're not focused. Yeah.
Correct. And when there's that saying, I think many of you have already heard, or many of you can relate to it. If property investing was easy, everyone would be doing it. And I guess that's one of the reasons why George started our company, and to help others to invest in property, because we're here to really support people to successfully invest in property. And if you would even Google entrepreneurs, especially successful entrepreneurs or authors or innovators like Oprah Winfrey, for instance, Richard Branson. You've also got like Tim Ferriss. One thing they all share in common when it comes to their views, when it comes to being able to achieve more in their life, or to have more happiness, or to really make a difference, one thing they all have in common is they all practice gratitude, being thankful and grateful. And look, like I mentioned earlier, what I found really interesting is that there is a link between financial abundance and gratitude. Being really grateful for what you do have, rather than focusing your mindset and your intention on what you don't have. Like you said earlier, Stacey, the more you think about something, you're bringing that more into your life. And there is that saying, what you resist actually persists. And I think it was Carl Jung that said it, or he has mentioned around what you resist persists. And what that actually means is that when you hold a strong emotion to something and you focus all your thoughts and your attention to it, this is what you're actually going to attract. And this is where we kind of come into the law of attraction a little bit. And when we're talking resistance, we're talking about the things that really stop you from getting things done. These could be the excuses that you tell yourself, the justifications. It could be the things that you say you should or you shouldn't be doing, especially when we're
cold to get out of bed. It's too cold to get out of bed in the morning, so you'll stay there and you'll think of, I've had every excuse under the sun as a personal trainer. So I'll counteract your excuse, and we can keep going all day, or you can turn up.
And I think George says this quite well. He always mentions, choose your heart, because when something appears hard, this is where we're going to have the most resistance. This is where we're going to have the most, the most excuses and justifications of why we shouldn't do it. So it's like, choose your heart. You could choose to stay where you are right now, which is hard, or you could choose to do something different, which is also going to be hard, but it actually could give you more benefits in the future and in the long term as well. We've got another comment here. Let's just share this. We've got, the Australian property market is amazing. Yes, it is. When you have the right strategy and you have the right structure, it certainly is, and a lot of fun.
Yep.
Thankful and grateful is a major pillar of my life and helps with property investing in every other area of my life. It certainly does. And when we're talking about gratitude and thankfulness, we're tying it into property and property investing, but when you practice this in all areas of your life, you watch how your life will begin to shift.
It'll just change.
Stacey, you want to read out the next comment?
Yeah, I need this. Need to be positive and grateful. Like when I'm not positive, like to a person, when I meet with the person, that lack of positiveness makes my interaction with the person be so awkward. Need to remind myself to be positive in the first place. Yeah.
Fantastic. And it does. It starts with you. You are the center of you're the universe. And if we come back to the law of attraction, what you put out is ultimately what you're going to get. When you think more positively and you start thinking about or feeling into the emotions of what kind of relationships do you want to have, what does success look like and feel like, when you start to bring in your mindset with your emotions and start to align your emotions with your mindset of your positive thoughts and thinking, that's where the law of attraction starts to magnetize, starts to bring in those experiences for you.
And you start to attract the right people as well. So basically what George says, the 5 main people you hang out with the most.
Correct. So, you guys tonight, or girls and ladies, should I say, or ladies and gentlemen, hanging out with us on a Thursday night, you're actually starting to change your relationship to property investing, being a part of a community that is supportive and supporting you, opening you up to different mindsets, different ways of being. And this can help you with your property investing, your personal life. It really does start to roll out into all areas of life that you're wanting to make a change in or wanting to transform. And
a good comment there. Top tips on abundance and mindset. Do you want to bring that one up?
Yeah, sure can.
Yeah, so top tips on abundance and around money. So that's a big one. So when we're talking about money, a lot of people see money in a bad way. Money is evil, money is bad, and that's just simply how you think of it, isn't it? So you can use it. You can use it in a way that is positive. In the end, it's all just numbers, isn't it?
Correct. And I see money as an energy. It's all transactional. Money gives me opportunities to have experiences in life that perhaps I wouldn't necessarily be able to receive. And just talking on tips around mindset and money, I want to share a little story with you with how I got my first own occupier. So back in 2020, my partner and I, 2018, my partner and I had this goal. We said to ourselves, by the end of 2018, we were going to have our first own occupier. Now, if we had have known then what we know now with what we've learned with George and positive property, we would never have bought an own occupier. We would have rented where we wanted to live, be a rent investor and invest in property. But we, back then, were still of the old mindset. You've got to get your house, the white picket fence, and, as the story goes along. And we looked at our finances, we did a budget, and based on our budget, we said to ourselves, hey, by July of 2018, we will have enough deposit and enough money to be able to buy our first own occupier. Well, life happens, and sometimes you don't always stick to your budget, so we certainly weren't disciplined in that particular area. And July comes along, and we realised that we didn't have enough savings to buy our first investment property. But we kept our mind positive and we kept thinking about what we wanted. So we were practicing gratitude, being grateful. And the way we did it was being grateful that we already had the house. So it wasn't being grateful that we were going to get the house. We were practicing gratitude that we already had it. So that was creating that energy or creating that law of attraction that we already have this and we are grateful because we have this. As well as we started actively looking on, realestate.com and looking for houses and areas that we wanted to live in. And when we get to July, we realized that we didn't have enough deposit. So we moved the goalpost and we're like, okay, we're not going to, be negative about this. We haven't reached our goal. Let's just move the goalpost. And we're like, okay, by November of 2018, based on our budget, if we stick to this, budgeting plan, we're going to have enough money for a deposit for a house. Anyway, November came and we realized once again that life happens and we hadn't reached our financial budget goals. And we got a little deflated by that, but we decided to keep positive. And funny enough, we were in November at a birthday party, and we're talking to a gentleman who was a developer, and he was saying to us, oh, there's this amazing property, you should buy it. The developer was going to develop on it, but realized he couldn't get the council permits. He's like, he's just trying to do a quick sell. It's like worth X amount of money, but he's selling it really cheap because he needs to get rid of it, so he's got more cash flow. So we went to that property, we checked it out. We went to put an offer in, but unfortunately somebody else offered higher money. So we missed out on that, but it got us back in the mindset of, I know, a little bit of fake it till you make it. So we were then starting to go around to a lot of different, auctions and looking through properties. And then we found the own occupier that we're currently residing now. And when I went there, I just felt this connection and energy. And I said to Federico, we need to get this property no matter what. And we signed the contract, obviously, subject to finance. And then after that, we were like freaking out. We was like, shit, we don't have a deposit. Like, what are we going to do? And funny enough, I mean, after, we went and shared with our family what was happening, Federico's parents decided to go guarantor on the loan, which enabled us to get that investment property. And so this is what I'm talking about, the law of attraction. Like, we could have stopped ourselves from moving forward when we hadn't reached our financial budgets, and it appeared that we weren't in a position to buy. But because we kept our mind positive, because we kept meditating and being really grateful for having that own occupier, we actually signed that the contract. I think it was the 27th of December. Like, we literally had 3 days before the end of the year, and we actually made that goal happen. It was amazing. So again,
sometimes there's another way. There's always a way.
Correct.
If you don't have it, find it. Yep.
Correct. And keeping your mind positive along the way, and it's so important. This is where mindset is really important. We've got another comment here. Let's share that comment.
Okay.
How can positive property, George Markoski business and so forth be best summarized? Like, so if I know how to use their services. Stacey, you want to take that one, or shall I?
Yeah. So basically, if you're looking at our business overall, we're helping people to financial freedom through property investing. So in terms of whether... Yeah, you go.
So I was going to say, so what we do is we're a coaching education company. So the first thing and foremost is to educate our members and assist them to understand the fundamentals of property investing. You also work with a coach who is here to support you, to assist you. Their role is to create a strategy for you. And once that strategy is in place, we'll also help you to implement the strategy, kind of like hold handing. And we also assist you to, we help find properties for you. And for anyone out there that's really interested in learning more about what we do, I mean, just type in the chat hashtag a wealth call, and one of our team members will reach out to you so that we can have that conversation with you. Also, we have another question here. Let's have a look.
Yep. Putting property and financial freedom in front of mind. For a few weeks, you become addicted and learning to improve your strategy. Thanks, George and the team. Yeah, exactly. A strategy helps a lot with your mind. You just know your direction, don't you?
Correct. And it's so important because you know exactly what step you're at, where you're going, and how to move forward. We've got another comment here.
Love that you didn't give up, Charmaine.
Yes, no, I didn't give up. And that comes down to, again, practicing gratitude, thankfulness, and that positive mindset and that law of attraction. Like, we just didn't give up. Like, we had obviously challenges along the way. And in life, you're always going to have those challenges. You know, it's how you choose to respond to the challenges or how you choose to react. And if you're in a responsive, you're in a growth mindset, you're growing, you're going to overcome them. But if you're in a fixed mindset, you're going to get stuck and bogged down by those challenges, and you'll end up just procrastinating or just not moving forward.
Your mind starts to go, but I can't because.
Yeah, that's right.
But I can't because. Because, and how many becauses do you have? Like,
And
for every excuse, there's always, if you start thinking of every because, what's the solution to that one?
that's right. And look, what we want to do, I mean, we're obviously quite thankful and grateful to be part of Positive Property. And what we'd love to offer everyone that's watching either the live or the replay is if you type in the chat hashtag freedom through property. We've got George's book here. We're going to do like a little draw, and anyone that puts hashtag freedom, tomorrow we'll announce the winners and send you a copy of George's best-selling Amazon book, The Freedom Through Property. And that's a great way to get started, a great way to start to shift your mindset, get yourself into understanding more about property investing. It certainly shifted my partner's mindset. That was pretty amazing. So please type in the chat hashtag freedom if you want to be part of that draw, and we'll let you know in the Facebook chat tomorrow who the winners are. And let's just touch upon practices. So we've talked a lot about what gratitude is. We've talked about how that ties into being successful, into property investing. We've talked about some of our experiences, Stacey. So what are some practices that we can share with our community to help them get into that gratitude and that thankfulness mindset?
Yeah, sure. So look, I find that it doesn't come natural to give yourself gratitude. It just doesn't come naturally. So it is something we do need to practice every day in order to do it. So one of the practices that I do, like I said, is physical. I thank my body by rewarding it with exercise, and that's how I look at it. I don't think of it as a punishment. If I get to work, I think of it, I get to work out today. Like, to me, that's a good thing. So it's not, oh, I've got to go and I've got to do a workout. It's more like I get to work out. That's a reward for me. That's
Fantastic.
one area. You go next one.
Yeah, so one of the practices I do, I mean, I love meditating, and something I do on a daily basis is I just place a hand on my heart. I take a few deep breaths, and I really tune into what I'm truly grateful for the day. So my gratitude looks like I look for 5 things that I'm grateful for in the day. So they may be experiences that I've had, things that I've learned about. I also like to think of 5 things I'm most grateful for in my friends and my colleagues and my community as well, like really extending that a little further. And also, if there's something that I'm wanting to create, like if I've got a goal I'm looking to achieve, I'll actually start to practice that gratitude that I actually have it now. Because if I'm creating that energy within myself that I have it now, based on the law of attraction, I'm drawing that experience into my life a lot sooner through the path of least resistance rather than the path of resistance.
Exactly.
Which is fantastic. And look, I've heard of stories of people, carrying like stones in their pockets to remind themselves to think of 5 or 6 things that they're most grateful for in their life. Me as a mother, I have a beautiful 14-year-old, and something that we practice on a regular basis is sharing with each other out loud. So this is an exercise you could do with your partner or your child by saying, hey, look, what are 5 things you're most grateful for, and actually share them out loud and talk about them, with someone that you care about or someone that you feel you want to share that with.
Exactly. That's awesome. So mentally also to read something
Yes.
or listen to something that you enjoy, and
Inspired.
socially. Socially, you might want to hang out with the people, obviously, that are going the same direction as you, but back away from the people that are trying to stop you. So it just means you might hang out with those a little less. Now, I know some of them could be family members, but you're wanting to, it's just how it works. If you start hanging out with people that are constantly telling you can't, you will start to believe you can't.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm feeling pretty grateful tonight. with you, Stacey, and I feel like doing another little offer for anyone here who's watching the live or the replay. We are doing a 14-day masterclass. I believe it's beginning next week or the week after. But anyone that's interested, that's been looking to invest in property, that has been, on the fence about it, we really highly recommend coming along and doing our 14-day challenge, our masterclass, Freedom Through Property. It does take you through the various steps in property investing. It helps you to create a plan, an action plan that you can begin to implement. And look, when you get to the end, you're going to be in, one of two positions. You're either investor ready and you have your own strategy and plan that you can begin to implement. And if you're not investor ready, you know where the gaps are and what steps you need to take. You have an action plan to start to take them. Practice your gratitude for every lesson that you learn away through that the masterclass and challenge itself. And for anyone that, for the first 5 people that really want to commit to making a difference and change in their life, we are going to give you a VIP upgrade to lifetime access. So if you are interested in the 14-day challenge, just type in the chat, hashtag 14-day challenge, and one of our team will be in touch with you.
Let's get moving.
Yeah, so I'm just conscious of time. We do need to get into our next live tonight with our members, where we're going to talk all things mindset and help our members get really clear and get some goals and help support them with their mindset. So if you have any questions, if there are any comments or anything you feel to share before we wrap this up, please share in the chat. Anything you want to add to that, Stacey?
I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you too. That's really lovely.
Nice. It's so nice. It's beautiful because when you are in a space of gratitude, there's this beautiful heart connection you start to feel within yourself, and it really is does really
your energy
support.
Just starts to lift.
Correct. So just a recap. So the reason thankful and gratefulness can really support us in life is not only does it help us with our overall well-being, but it's really supportive, particularly when you're wanting to have great success. We've touched upon some of the benefits that having a gratitude and thankfulness offers. We've talked about how that can benefit you in property investing. We've also talked about our values and the importance of having some values in your life, whether you are a company, having values as a company, having values in your personal life. We've talked about
how you attract what you think about the most.
Correct. And just
what you can do every day.
Exactly. And what you can do. So with that being said, thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of tonight's session.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a gratitude and thankfulness. It's so amazing. So thanks, everyone. Please make sure you type in the chat if you're wanting to be in the draw for George's book, Freedom Through Property. And if you're interested in the 14-day challenge, just hashtag a challenge. And we will see you next Thursday, something that one of our team members says on a regular basis. You've probably met her, Belinda Flaherty. I think she says something along the lines of same property channel, same property time. Or maybe same bat channel, same property time. So we'll see you all next Thursday. Have a wonderful week. And practice your gratitude. Bye.
Bye.